I'm Michael Bain, and welcome to Triggered, coming to you from Dragon House Studios at the secret hidden bunker in the Rocky Mountains. And today is show and tell day. We've got a lot of guns that have come into the shop here since the SHOT Show. And these are sort of a whole bunch of first looks. And the number one on that list, probably the number one on anybody's list, is this gun from our friends at Ed Brown. It is the 25th anniversary Ed Brown Kobra Carry 45 ACP 1911. And it is the state of the art of old school cool. Ed unfortunately passed recently, one of the great OGs of custom 45s back in the day, but it was Ed the master machinist who figured out, well, we want to make these parts at the very highest level they've ever been made, and that's what he did. He set a standard for guns and parts. So in 2000, he decided to apply the techniques that he was using to build custom competition pistols that we saw and used every day in USPSA, IDPA, IPSC type competition, and apply them to a commander-sized carry gun. And the Kobra Carry, Cobra with a K, was born. Cobra because it has this incredible snakeskin checkering. Here, front strap, back strap, also on the frame. It looks great, not only that, but it grips incredibly well. Second thing you'll notice in 2000, this was the first gun to come out with the Ed Brown bobtail. I think I might have mentioned, the first time I saw the Ed Brown bobtail, I thought, that's a gimmick, right up until the time that I tried it. And then I thought, John Browning should have thought of this. Because this is a 25th anniversary gun, it is only going to be available in 2025. They'll stop taking orders in December. But if you want really what I think of as a classic custom gun, you know, a gun that is in fact an heirloom gun, this is probably a gun. I haven't shot it yet. I will tell you the trigger is exactly like, what do they say in the gun magazines? A glass rod breaking. It's an absolutely perfect trigger pull. So everything about this gun is what a custom 1911 should be. And you know what? It is every bit as great a carry gun as it was when it came out in 2000. Comes with a couple of great Ed Brown magazines, a patented follower. And by the way, just to mention, the Ed Brown Magazine Exchange program is still going on. You can gather up all those crummy 1911 magazines that you bought from the back of Shotgun News, pay $10, send them to Ed Brown. You'll get back a real top-of-the-line magazine. When we come back, it's time for the wheels to go round and round and round.
You know the RIA 5.0 packs radically new innovations, but we didn't stop there. Introducing the RIA 5.0E. The E stands for enhanced, as in new optics cuts and plates. The updated barrel is crafted with improved materials and slide geometry. The look and feel is also enhanced. Plus, new lightning cuts show off the updated match-grade barrel. Experience the enhanced RIA 5.0E today.
Welcome back to Triggered. And by the way, the MSRP on the 25th anniversary Kobra Carry, you're looking at around $3,200, $3,300, which really is not bad for a masterpiece. Speaking of masterpieces, this is from Lipsey's and Smith & Wesson. Lipsey's exclusive. It is a 44 Magnum Smith & Wesson mountain gun. Mountain guns are like a fascinating part of Smith & Wesson history. Go back to, say, Skeeter Skelton, who really came up with the idea of like, hey, we want a 4-inch barrel 44 Magnum. I carried it on horseback. And there's a great article, by the way, by Kevin McPherson on the Revolver Guy blog. We'll link that up, of course, at michaelbain.tv with his whole history of Smith & Wesson mountain guns. But this guy, Smith & Wesson hadn't made a mountain gun since, I don't know, 2005. This is brand new. This is beautiful. 4-inch tapered barrel. So typically with a 44 Magnum, let me just show you really quickly off one of my custom guns. This is from Jim Stroh from Alpha Precision. But you can see how typically you would see on a barrel on a Smith & Wesson 44, great big straight bull barrel. Well, With the mountain gun, we go back to the tapered barrel. We've got a gold bead front sight. We have what's called like a black powder chamfering here in front of the cylinder. That's because in the original mountain gun days, Tommy Campbell, my friend Tom Campbell, once again recently passed, worked at Smith & Wesson R&D and then at Safariland. He saw black powder guns and liked the way that looked. So he made that for all the mountain guns that came out when he was working with Smith & Wesson. Narrower hammer, smooth, narrower trigger. You're probably looking at that wood and you're going, oh my God, that's a heck of a set of stocks. That's not a set of stocks you want to carry around, right? That's from Bobby Tyler. They're called bear hug grips. Was it Deason who originally made them? They kind of went through several different makers, and Bobby, my friend Bobby, bought the rights to make these grips. If you have a Smith & Wesson round butt or square butt revolver and you go like, I got to have a pair of those grips, Bobby Tyler Custom Guns can take care of that for you. The action is very, very good. Everything about this gun is exactly what Skeeter Skelton would say, wow, this is the Smith & Wesson I want to carry. And I wanted to give you a comparison. Of course, I showed you the Jim Stroh Alpha Precision gun, which kind of a classic 3-inch carry gun. The sighting system here, this is from Dave Lauk, and it's a heavy-duty fixed sight set pretty much around 240 grains. This is my mountain gun that I kind of compare all mountain guns to. The gun itself was built by Hamilton Bowen, and it's on an L frame. So this is the N frame, the larger frame. This is an L frame, slightly smaller frame. This gun is a 5-shot 44 Special, a 6-shot 44 Magnum. But the guns are designed to do the same, to be the same, to be a gun that you'll carry all the time. And you're not going to want to shoot bombs out of it. You're not going to want to launch really super heavy 44 Magnum loads out of it. Typically, if I'm going to launch a really heavy bullet, really powerful load, it goes through a Ruger, goes through a Red Hawk, Super Red Hawk. So I keep under 300 grains with my Smith & Wesson revolvers. As much as I love these grips, honestly, I'm probably going to end up with a pair of these Hogues on it just to make it shoot a little easier. It's a round butt frame, by the way. So mountain guns, you can get this guy a 7-shot 357 in addition to the 6-shot 44 Magnum. Call it $1,200 and it's money well spent. When we come back, I want to look at an old friend all dressed up. This week's Triggered is brought to you by Rossi. The legend continues. Stoeger. Everyday Tough. Hunter's HD Gold. They change so you don't have to. And MTM Case Guard. Quality shooting sports accessories. I wanted to take a second to show you an old friend. This is an STI Marauder from like 2016. And basically the idea was to build an STI gun, which of course became Staccato very shortly after this. But build it for 3-gun. What did 3-gun shooters want, which isn't necessarily the heavy weight of maybe an STI Edge, which back in like that early part, 2015, 2014, was the quintessential USPSA competition pistol. So I built the Marauder. It worked out well for me because I'd been shooting an STI Edge in USPSA years before, and I had a lot of the dreadfully expensive 9mm magazines for it. But eventually, it kind of gets put in the safe, and haven't shot it in a while. It's a great gun. It's a super 3-gun gun. And then I started thinking, I'd like to shoot this gun, but my old eyes really want to see red dots. So this is one of the new Vortex. Vortex did a new series of red dots. Now they've been in the red dot business since the beginning of the red dot business, right? Well, this is one of their newest red dots. It is the Defender XL, which is essentially a competition sight, which we put in a competition pistol. Now, red dot sight, I think it's like kind of 5 MOA dots, something like that. But the work was done, the machining work was done by Springer Precision. Now, over the years, I've used Springer Precision a lot. I use their products, they're very, very good. I use some of their tools. It's a great company. And they machine the tops of slides to take red dots. I called them up and said, hey guys, if I was going to machine an STI, which dot would you think would be best? And they said, we're going to go ahead and recommend this Defender XL, the Vortex, because it fits without adding another plate. So it fits fairly low. It's a great looking sight. I like it that they got a little meat grinder part up here, so when you're using it to rack the gun, which of course we never do, it makes it easier to rack the gun. It's got a pop-up door to put the battery in. That's just too cool. So looking forward to shooting this guy now, putting a lot of rounds downrange. I've had a lot of rounds downrange through this gun. Once again, STI, Marauder, and very much like any of the Staccato full-size frames. So, I'm Michael Bain. As always, you can find us on michaelbain.tv, where we're always free. All those triggers. You can find us on YouTube, you can find us on Rumble, you can find us on X, you can find us all over the place. Until next week, when I finally get some shooting in, you take care.